All right, good morning. So today's Tuesday, and last night was obviously Monday night, but I have a crazy Monday night story for you. So it all started yesterday night at the uOttawa Sports Complex, and my teammates and I we play ice hockey, and we had a game at 6:30. So we played our game or whatever. It was a great game. We won 6-0. Got back into the locker room, and one of the guys was like, whatever, after the game, checking his phone, and he goes to look inside his pants pocket or whatever. He's like, "What the hell? My phone's gone." And then we're all like, "What? That's weird." And then another guy was like, he was like, maybe someone stole it or something. So everyone starts checking their pockets or whatever, and my buddy's like, "What the hell? Like, my wallet has no more money in it. I had like over $100." So I'm like, "What?" Anyways, I'm like, "Well, this can't possibly happen to me." The classic thing. So I check my pockets. My phone is gone. And so we're about what are we? Five forward, six. Yeah, we're 12 players, and I think it was about 8 of us had something missing, whether it was money or a phone. So luckily, one of our teammates had kind of a banged up iPhone in like duct tape or whatever, and he left it in his shorts. So it was kind of not of an obvious place to look or whatever. So he had an iPhone. So meanwhile, one of the players reported the stolen items to the guys that worked at the arena. And they're like, "Oh, this is crazy because this has happened like 2 or 3 times in the last couple weeks." And we're like, "Okay." But we stupidly didn't lock the shower door, because there's 2 doors you have to lock in a locker room. So obviously he accessed the room through the shower door going through another locker room. Anyways, he went way out of his way to do something. So clearly he knew what he was doing. He was probably the guy who stole the 2 or 3 other times. Anyways, so we're all like, "What the hell's going on?" Like, as if someone just jacked all of our stuff, our whole team, and we're like, "Okay." But thankfully, I had my iPhone stolen at a bar before, and when that happened, I was all pissed off and stuff because I was brand new. I just bought it, and the guy I was with was actually like, There's an app on an iPhone that can track your phone. It's called Find My Phone." So at that time, this was back in February, in the winter, we successfully found the guy by just following the GPS location that was on on my buddy's iPhone. So from previous experience, I told my buddy, I'm like, "Yo, do you have that app called Find My Phone?" He looks through his phone, whatever. He's like, "Yeah." Luckily, he did. Either way, you can download it. But so. So I knew you have to know your Apple ID and your password. I was like, obviously I know it. I'm like, "Password your phone." I type it in. It takes a couple minutes, whatever, or not even a minute, whatever. So and then all of a sudden it shows up my phone, my name, my phone. We click on it and we see that the guy was clearly on foot because he was only about 1.5 kilometers or 2 kilometers away. So as soon as we saw that, instead of showering after the game, everyone's just like, "Oh crap, let's go," like energy rush, crazy adrenaline, and we just got undressed in like a minute. And then so we all got out of the locker room, and we were trying to plan what we were gonna do, but we knew that he was pretty close. So we were about 12 guys, and I think 10 of us split up into 2 different cars, and we followed the signal and on the GPS on my buddy's iPhone, and yeah, we approached where the dot was, and it wasn't moving that fast. So we were like, "Oh, he's probably like just walking, running, or maybe on a bike." So we kind of pulled over in our cars, and we were kind of looking at people who looked a bit suspicious around that area. But it was around the St. Paul University campus, so he could have easily blended in with a bunch of students. Anyways, so we split up two groups of five, one on each side of the street to kind of roam and look. And a couple of the guys passed this guy, and they're like, "Oh, they shouldn't have said this, but they were like, oh, we're looking for some guy who stole all our phones and our money." Anyways, the guy was like, "Oh, that sucks," or whatever. But then and then they kept on walking. And then two of the other guys, like, after seeing that guy, came up to me and they were like, "Yo, that guy looks pretty sketchy." Like, and then another guy, my friend was like, "Man, he just changed directions as soon as we started following him pretty close and whatever." And he kept on looking back and looking like all around, kind of paranoid and sketchy. So I'm like, man, like, we have nothing to lose. Like, we're going after this guy. So we're about 10 guys again, and we start following him. He goes off into like this not wooded area, but there's a couple trees and whatever. It's a little bit off the road, so it's harder to see him. And yeah, we're like, I go up to him and I start following him, and I can see in his back pockets that he has like an outline of like a wallet or phone, but he has it in both pockets. And I'm like, why would someone have like two phones or two wallets or whatever? And we kept on following him, like, and he started walking the opposite direction. So like, why would someone that's normal just change directions or whatever? Anyway, so he starts walking, continue walking. We're bigger and bigger group. We're like from 2 to 5 or 6 guys. Anyway, so we start following him, and we're like, "Yo, buddy, like, what's in your pockets?" He's like, "Yo, leave me alone. You can't touch me. Like, don't touch me." Like, "We're not touching you. What's in your pockets?" He's like, "Drugs." We're all like, "Wow, you're an idiot." But we know there's the iPhone in your pocket. Anyways, we start surrounding him. Then eventually we're like, "Screw this. We know it's him. He's acting sketchy." So my buddy just grabs him like this, like, not hard or anything. He was a small guy, and we're like 10 guys. Grabs him, and he's like, "Oh, you can't touch me." And we're like, "Screw you, buddy." Oh no, before that, yeah, we're like, "We know you have our phones, so just give it to him. Give our phones back to us." And he's like, "No, I just have drugs, whatever." My buddy, and then we're like, "All right, we're calling the cops then." Like, he's like, "No, don't call the cops, don't call the cops." He kept hesitating, whatever. We're like, "We know you have our phones." He's like, and then we're like, "Okay, we're gonna call the cops." He's like, "No, wait." And then like, we grab the phones from the pocket, and he has like 7 or 8 phones, but at that same time, my buddy grabs him like that, so he can't move. Anyway, so he has like, yeah, 7 or 8 phones, and so he jacked maybe 4 or 5 of ours. So he had, on top of ours, he had stolen other people's phones as well. So yeah. So we grab all the phones, and we're like, well, people are missing money too. And then we kind of started looking through his pockets as my buddy had him restrained, and we found like a little roll in his pocket, couple $100, and yeah, so we 5-10 minutes later, the cops came and like arrested him, and they're like, "What do you guys want to do?" And we're like, I don't know, like, we're all nice guys. Like, he's lucky he ran into us and not like a group of angry guys. Like, we didn't touch him, we didn't hurt him. We could have easily beat the crap out of him, knocked his face into the curb or something. Anyway, so the cops are like, "What do you guys want to do? Press charges, or just kind of like, if you press charges, like, you may have to go to court, and blah, 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 blah." Anyways, or if you just kind of like don't do anything, he'll go free tonight, and he'll probably keep on doing it. And he admitted that he was a drug addict, and he was addicted to opioids, and there was so like heroin pills or whatever. He had a crack pipe in his pocket, and a thing of pills, and so that probably got him in the most trouble with the cops. And anyways, either way, the couple morals to this story is, probably shouldn't bring your wallet and your phone into the locker room, or if you do, hide it in some place that's not obvious. And the second is second is put a passcode on your iPhone. The only reason why we were able to track it, because mine's all broken, the top button here, he couldn't turn off my phone, so we were able to track mine. But all the other phones that he had stolen from us, the iPhones, were off, so he knew to turn them off, but he couldn't turn mine off, so that's how we were able to track him. But if we would have had a passcode, he wouldn't have been able to turn them off. So keep a passcode on your iPhone. Make sure you know your Apple ID and your password, so that if someone steals it or you lose it, you can track it by GPS, and it's extremely accurate. And so pretty crazy story. We tracked him down. He's in jail now. He's going to get charged. He's an idiot because he was definitely the one who did it the times before. There was like 3 incidents in the last couple of weeks, so he knew exactly what he was doing, and he's paying for it now. And that's pretty much it. That's our Monday night hockey guy story. Anyway, so yeah. Now you know how to track an iPhone if you get stolen. Zud.